Good morning. Today I have another what I eat in a day video for you. As every morning I just took some of my supplements. I took my NMN, my TMG, I had a bunch of water, and then I also just preheated my oven because last night I made my bread, which I haven't made in forever and I've really been craving. Sorry about my voice, I just woke up. But so many of you have asked me for the recipe for this, so of course I will put it down below in the info box. If you're not familiar with this bread, it is so delicious. It is just oats and a bunch of different seeds. Flax seed, chia seed, hemp seed, pumpkin seed, sunflower seed. Like I said, I will put the recipe down below in the info box. So I'm just waiting for my oven to be at 350 Fahrenheit. Then I'm going to put this in the oven and it will bake while I'm out on my walk. Before I go on my walk, I'm going to have my protein pudding. Now I'm calling this a protein pudding, but that's probably overselling it. Really all this is just protein powder. And for the last probably year now, I have really been enjoying this protein powder right here called Naked Shake. I like the peanut butter chocolate flavor, though to be honest, I haven't tried any other flavors because I love this one. This is pea protein, and it does have a bit of added coconut sugar, but honestly, I prefer it having added sugar than artificial sweetener because to me, protein shakes that use artificial sweetener they have this horrible aftertaste. So I have really been enjoying this. But if you have a protein shake you really like or a protein powder you really like, please share down below. So all this is, again, is just protein powder, and I use 2 scoops, which is 1 serving size. And that gives me 20 grams of protein. And then I add just enough soy milk to make it nice and thick, like a pudding. So I would say I probably add about a cup of soy milk, which gives me another 7 grams of protein. So quite a few of you have asked me, how do I get enough protein in my diet, especially being plant-based. But even not being plant-based, quite a few of you have asked me, because we are learning more and more about the importance of protein as we're getting older, to keep on lean muscle mass and so on. So I loosely aim to get about 100 grams of protein a day, and we're just going to count today, loosely count up how much protein I actually get, and we'll see. Hopefully it will be around 100 grams. I like having this little protein pudding in the morning, even though it doesn't look too appetizing, because when I first get up in the morning, I'm not that hungry, but I am quite active. I go out to go for a walk, I work out, and I don't want to do all of that on an empty stomach. So having this little protein pudding first thing in the morning keeps my blood sugar nice and stable, and I don't get hungry before breakfast. So again, it doesn't look too appetizing, but honestly, it doesn't taste bad at all, and it does the trick. So right away, I'm starting my day off with, let's say, 25 grams of protein. Of course, I'm also having some dark chocolate. It's something I really look forward to having in the morning. Gets me out of bed. Let's take a look at this. It looks delicious. I think it's done. I am going to turn off the oven, but leave it in here to cool down. And while the bread is cooling down, I'm going to go downstairs to work out. All right, done working out. I just got back into the apartment and the bread is making the apartment smell so good. I can't wait to eat it. Quick shower and then I'll have breakfast. Look at this, it smells so good. I am so excited about this. Unfortunately, I don't have a bread knife. The only serrated knife I have that's somewhat good is this one, so I'm going to use that to cut some slices. Voila. And I have a very ripe avocado right here, so I'm going to make some avocado toast. All right, I cannot wait to eat this. And like I said, I am going to loosely keep track of how much protein I'm eating today. So while I'm eating this, I'm going to do the math, or try to do the math. When cutting my loaf, I figured it gives me about 12 to 13 slices. So I will try to do the math, and I will let you know how much protein I am consuming for breakfast today. And of course, along with my avocado toast, I'm also having my dandy blend. That was delicious, and I did the math. And this bread has a whopping 165 grams of protein, which is amazing. So let's say it gives me 13 slices. As I said earlier, it gives me between 12 and 13 slices. So let's say it gives me 13 slices. Then one slice has 12.69 grams of protein, so let's call it 13. I had 2 slices, that's 26 grams. An avocado has about 3 grams of protein, so that's 29 grams. And then I had some soy milk in my tea. Let's just say I had 30 grams of protein. So 30 grams of protein for breakfast, 25 grams with my protein pudding this morning. So I'm already up to 55 grams of protein, and it's only morning time, so not bad at all. I will see you for lunch. All right, it is lunchtime, and if you have seen any of my what I eat in a day videos, you know that 90% of the time I have a big salad for lunch, which is what I'm having today. I love salad, so it's a bit boring, I know, but we're going to see how much protein is actually in my salad. Now I just preheated my oven, or actually the air fryer function of my oven, because I'm going to prepare some tofu as well as some chickpeas and maybe even some potatoes if I have some room on my tray. Let's see, but let's get started. So I have this high protein tofu right here, which I've talked about in another what I eat in a day video. I really like this tofu because not only is it high in protein, but it is also quite firm, which I like. This says it's 5 serving sizes, and one serving size has 14 grams of protein. So this package has 70 grams of protein, which is quite impressive. And usually I make the whole block, and it will last me for about 3 days. So I usually just cut this into little pieces, and then I throw it in a bowl. And I usually keep this quite simple. I just use a bit of sriracha to give it a bit of kick. And then I will either use some coconut aminos or soy sauce, whichever I have open. And that's usually all I put on there. I mix it up well, and then I air fry it. And it gets nice and crispy on the outside, but soft on the inside. I'm going to throw this on my baking sheet, and then have rinsed some chickpeas right here. I'll add, this is 1 can of chickpeas. Sometimes I will make 2 cans, but I do want to have a little bit of space here to put some potatoes on the baking sheet as well. And usually on the chickpeas, I just put a bit of cumin. And then lastly, I'm just going to throw some potatoes on here. Now this is not all for today. I always make extra. Like I said, the tofu usually lasts me for about 3 days. The chickpeas probably will last me for 2 days since it's just 1 can, but I always make a bit extra so I don't have to do this every day. I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt and a tiny bit of olive oil to the potatoes. I'm going to throw all of this in the oven for about 40 minutes or so. Alright, so while everything is baking in the oven, I'm going to start with my salad. So I have a nice big bowl of leafy greens right here. And I'm going to cut in a few of these cherry tomatoes, some of these lovely sweet bell peppers. I always like to have a bit of fruit in my salad, so I have some organic strawberries right here. And then, of course, no salad is complete without avocado. Add some salt, pepper. I actually like using flaxseed oil on my salad, but I just ran out of it, so I am using some really good olive oil I just got at the farmer's market, and some balsamic vinegar. And while I'm waiting for the tofu and everything else to be done, I'm going to try to do the math here as far as how much protein this will have. Now, I'm not going to count any of the protein in the greens and, you know, the vegetables. That's just a very small amount. But I am going to count the tofu, the chickpeas, and I'm also going to put some lentils on top. I will show you in a second. I will count those as well. All right, all of this looks beautiful. Let's put it on top of my salad. And then my newest addiction are these lentil toppers. I just recently talked about these in a video. These are delicious. These are crunchy lentils. They are oil-free. It's just lentils and spices. 1 serving size is a tablespoon, and it has 2 grams of protein. So usually I just throw these on top of my salad without measuring them. But since we are measuring how much protein I'm getting, let's measure them out. So there's 2, 4. I am usually quite generous with these. 6, 8. So that is usually how much I put on there. So that was 4 serving sizes, which is 8 grams of protein. All right, and look how beautiful. Okay, so let's see. The tofu, like I said, has 70 grams of protein per block, and it usually lasts me for about 3 days. So that's 23 grams of protein. I added a half a cup of chickpeas, and 1 cup of chickpeas has 21 grams of protein. So let's say 10 grams, so that's 33 grams. And then the dried lentils I just added give me another 8 grams. So that is 41 grams of protein right here. Really a bit more because the avocado, the potatoes, the green leafy vegetables have a little bit of protein. But let's just say 40 grams of protein. So I've already got 55 this morning, plus 40. I'm up to 95 grams of protein. Not bad at all. I'm going to enjoy this right now, and I'm sure I will see you for dessert. Dessert is somewhat dainty bland with soy milk, and of course, some dark chocolate. Not much protein here, well, a tiny bit from the soy milk, but mostly just pleasure. All right, it is dinner time, and for dinner tonight, I'm going to make a very easy, but very delicious, and hopefully high in protein, we'll find out, taco bowl. And I'm going to start by making some rice in my Instapot. I'm going to make, let's say 1.5 cups, because that way I can have some leftover for tomorrow as well. While the rice is cooking, I'm going to rinse some black beans. Now normally I would saute some onions first, but I don't have any onions, so this will have to do. So I just have my black beans, and I'm going to add just a few diced tomatoes, not the whole can, just a little bit. And then I'm also going to add some spices. A little bit of crushed pepper, a little cumin, a little bit of sriracha, and some chili powder. Actually, I do have some onion powder, so I'm going to add that. And I'm also going to add a bit of garlic powder. And then I'm just going to let this heat up while I'm cutting some vegetables. For my vegetables, I'm just going to throw some organic sweet corn in the microwave. And then I'm going to cut up some of these sweet bell peppers and some cherry tomatoes. All right, time to put it all together. So we have the wild rice. And again, I cooked 1.5 cups, so I have plenty of leftover for tomorrow. And same with these beans. I'm just going to use half of these and then use the other half tomorrow. Let's add our vegetables. And then, of course, we need some avocado on top. And then lastly, I'm going to make a tahini sauce to top it off. So I have a bit of tahini in here, not much, but that's all I need. I am boiling some water. We'll add a bit of sriracha for kick. How beautiful does that look? Let's do the math. So 1 can of black beans has 24 grams of protein. I used half a can, so 12 grams. The rice I cooked has about 12 grams of protein. Probably a little bit more, but let's say 12 grams. So I used half of what I cooked, 6 grams. So we are up to 18 grams. And then I used about 1 cup of corn, which has 5 grams. So altogether, 23 grams, let's say 25 grams. I have been rounding down throughout the day, so let's round up just a tiny bit, 25 grams. So up until now, I've had 95 grams of protein. So with this, I will have 120 grams of protein. Not bad at all. And it was actually quite easy to get to that number. So I can't wait to eat this. It smells delicious. It looks delicious. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to share some of your high protein meals down below, please do so. Any questions or comments, of course, please leave them down below. I always love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. Bon appetit and see you next time. Bye.